Hello, everyone, and welcome back to lesson 5. The big and overall one we just have saved to the last is love. So I will read what our questions. Life isn't always gentle and kind, but through the eyes of love, I am able to see blessings amidst heartache. How can I focus on love rather than fear and not let anger control me? What would happen if I let love lead? And as I'm reading this, Mare, I'm reflecting back on our conversation about faith.
Mhm.
So in so many ways, the way I maneuver through life is that through the eyes of love, I am able to see blessings amidst heartache. And that's how I find faith, if faith is the right word. That's how I find faith when I am maneuvering through the challenges, whether it's little stuff challenges, but really the bigger stuff challenges. And to me, the trick is, or the the opportunity is, can I apply that love as I become aware of the simple blessings, the simple benefits that are even in the crappiest of circumstances? It brings up such a feeling of love that transcends my love for the other and or my love for myself.
Yeah.
But it takes me back to that near death experience love that transcends all senses.
Yeah.
um, so tell me about your sense of this, and especially in light of the experience you are on right now, and so many people around you loving you, and all of the challenges of loving yourself when your body isn't expressing itself in the way that you would prefer. Give me your sense of this word.
Yes. Well, a couple of things when you were talking, and when you were talking about your near-death experience, um, that, as you say, it wasn't a place that you went to per se, but that feeling. And would you equate that with love? With
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't that I was experiencing something. I was it.
you were it.
I
That's why it's so hard to leave and come back, right?
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. And what if, I mean, we raised that question, what if it's all happening at the same time? What, given that there is no time and space, when you get to this all-encompassing, but,
Yeah.
and I don't understand why or how we are in this reality, and how this has to be a part of, like, why do we have to learn here when there is so incredible? And then I've also had that realization in this human form of, well, it's energy, and by the nature of energy, the energy of creation, it's ever changing, it involves chaos and growth and evolution. Well, so it's eternity.
Right.
In that sense, it's eternity. So then there's the, oh good, oh crap,
Yeah. Yeah.
how am I going to view it? Is that a good thing? What's beyond that? If seeing it from this reality of paradox,
Yeah.
and having experienced a reality where there was no paradox, is it all in fact the same reality? So you can really get into a mind cramp about all of that. I just know when I get into this place, whether
Hmm.
it's loving another, especially when I can wrap my mind and past conditioning around the value of loving myself.
Yeah.
When I am faced with big challenges, it can either be that overwhelming heartache that controls it,
Mm-hmm.
or it can be the door or the veil that I get to pass through, where I have a whole different way of viewing it, that as horrible as it feels or seems,
Yeah.
there's some weird combination of all 5 of these words and all 22 of the words that we've chosen in our cards and all of the words that we
Yes.
attach meaning to, that encompass or embody in spirit this. It
Yeah.
goes beyond embodying it, it's inspiriting it.
Yes.
So that's
There's
woo woo
separation.
beyond the measure, but that's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so your sense.
Um, this whole, having gone through these past months, it's my sister-in-law called the other day, my brother, and to see how I was doing and all, and and she said, I don't know that I've ever met anyone or know that I know anyone who is loved more than you are. you know I was like, wow, really? And it brought tears.
Yeah. Yeah. So what if you loved yourself as much as that?
Right.
And one of the most powerful exercises I ever did in a workshop was where we had to go around the circle of maybe 30 people. Some I knew, some I didn't know before, and we had spent, a couple of days together. And
Yeah.
we had to go, the beauty I see in you is, and then you'd rotate to the next person, the beauty I see in you is. And it
Yes.
was amazing how you could come up with that love for the other person, that knowing, that acknowledgement of them. And you would go around the circle,
Mm-hmm.
and then the facilitator said, okay, now do the same thing. We're going to rotate around the circle and say, the beauty I see in myself is, which in essence is the way that I love myself is.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh crap, that seemed so
Much harder.
foreign. Yeah, it was harder. But
Yeah.
then holding that awareness, it dropped in that the qualities that you can see, the things that you can love about another, the things that you can admire about someone else,
Yes.
are really the qualities you wouldn't recognize them in them. You wouldn't recognize those qualities in another if they didn't live within you.
Yes.
And so to me, it became the validation that I am that. I may have my judgments about, am I that good enough? Am
Mm-hmm.
I that this much when they're this much, that whole comparison or judgment thing.
Yeah.
And when I insist with myself in a loving way to drop all of that, I get that you are loved because you are love. And there you are. And I know I am. And everyone who is looking at this word
Yeah.
may not think they are, or they can come up with all of the ways they may have fallen short of being their best this.
Yes.
It just isn't true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the truth is that even the most difficult people that I can imagine in my life are still this. They're just misinformed.
Yeah. Yes. The
That's my
whole,
story, and I'm sticking to it.
yeah. I think, one of the biggest lies that we're fed, and maybe as women specifically, is that we have to be a certain way to be loved.
Yeah.
That we have to look a certain way, act a certain way and live a certain way in order to be worthy of love
Yeah.
of another. And to really come, and for me years ago, to how conditional that is,
Mm-hmm.
and how um, icky. It's just loving someone with conditions, or loving anything with conditions, sets you up for heartbreak and failure.
Right.
Because it's never going to give you what you're expecting. And so stepping into unconditional love, I find that you see someone and I go through my filters of, oh my God, they smell bad, or oh my God, they, or oh, that
They
they're living in their car, or or the other extreme of, wow, how did they get that wealthy?
right.
Whatever. But it's like that's my safety, my fear filters, trying
Right.
to see if there's any danger there. And once I let my little monkey mind run those filters, which takes a nanosecond,
Right.
um, and go, no, they are exactly who they're supposed to be in this moment, and that's loving them where they are.
Well, and they're actually there for your benefit, so that
Yes,
you can run the monkey mind to get back to this
yes,
and
yes,
make this your practice rather than
yes,
fear your practice.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why it's called a practice.
Is a practice, yes, or we wouldn't be on the planet of learning.
Right. That's right. So life isn't always gentle and kind. You know that one. We all know that one
Yes.
on some level in some way. But through the eyes of love, I am able to see the blessings amidst the heartache. So I know that it's easy enough, Mira, for you to point out the heartache of experiencing cancer. Leave
Mhm.
us with the blessings. What are the blessings amidst the heartache? And then just leaving everyone today with that ask of walking through your life looking for this rather than expecting the opposite.
Right.
So what are the blessings? What are the
Yeah.
blessings, the lessons and the blessings that
The lessons and the blessings. Yes.
in,
Yeah.
in 30 seconds or less, how would
Yes.
you
Yeah.
share?
Well, you know what came up for me is giving and receiving, because love is fluid. It's not static. You can't capture it and keep it in a box. It's constantly, ooh, gave me goosebumps, growing and exchanging, and it, I don't know the word I want. It's organic.
Uh-huh.
It's constantly changing, and I've seen for myself with all of the people who have shown up to help me and visit and come to be with me and stop their life to to walk with me, that receiving that is, and again, being such a caregiver, right, that the first impulse is, oh, let me get up and make you something. Let me feed you,
Right,
what
right.
can I do for you,
Or
and not being able to do that, and
yeah,
just having to receive. So love is a giving and a receiving. It's and it's not reciprocal. It may not come back in the form you want it to or expect it to, but it's always going to be coming. And it's like an infinity that just keeps waving and growing and expanding. with the giving and the receiving of it. And, there's that great exercise that if someone pays you a compliment and you go, oh, this old thing,
Right.
and it's like they've given you this gift, like, wow, that is so beautiful on you. And you go, oh, I don't want that. I don't want that gift,
Right.
you know? And you insult them. You deny their love. You
Yeah.
make less of the whole experience,
Right.
And we have to learn, I think, how to say, wow, thank you.
Yeah. To receive.
Yeah.
Without a giver, you couldn't have, without someone there to receive, giving wouldn't be as much fun. It is fun. So when as I expand my ability to love and receive,
Yeah.
self-love is to allow yourself to receive. It's where I know that I am giving that giver a gift,
Yes.
because I know how good it feels to be able to give something that makes a difference. And
Yeah.
so you need the givers, you need the receivers, and we need to be both. And
Yes.
to me, that's what unconditional love accesses.
Yes.
It,
Yes. And it's that giving and receiving to ourself
yeah,
too.
yeah,
That bottom line of saying, oh man, why did I do that? Oh my God. And then saying, you know what? I love that about me.
right,
Yeah.
right, right.
I do that. That's part of who I am. It may not be the part I love the best or whatever, but it's who I am. So I love that about me.
Yeah,
And not making any part of us wrong. If we're that unhappy with it, then we can change it,
yeah,
but to accept, there's an acceptance, and an allowing, and the daring, the care, the faith, all of that
yeah,
tied up into knowing that there's love,
yeah,
that and that's all that really matters. The pain, the treatments, the worries, the
yeah.
you know
So today, it's for each of us to remember in those simple little ways to be a human being while we are a human doing, and
yes.
know and welcome, I guess, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience rather than human beings having a spiritual experience.
Yes, yes. And that, for me, has given me peace,
Hmm.
and knowing that it's like, on the overall scheme of things,
Yeah,
you know, what
yeah,
the heck? I mean, our lives are like, and gone. So, it's resting, being held in that love, like that place you went to, or that energy you experienced of just
yeah.
unconditional love to an extent that I can't even imagine,
Right.
but to hold on to that. And maybe that's my faith, is that that's what's really there. That's what's there. And that's all that's important.
Well, I love you, Mayor,
I love you, Rhonda.
and I love us, and how what we can do together grows us both. And
Yes.
I love everyone who is daring enough to take the time when they don't think they have it, when they are face down or exhausted or weary, to have the persistence to reach out to listen to these 5 words and hold them as a refueling station. So thanks
Yeah.
for walking these 5 words with me. And
Yes.
um, So today we get to go explore the love that we can see, that allows us to see the blessings even in the heartache.
Yes.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thanks, Rhonda. I love you.
Love you too. Love everyone.
Yes.